Welcome to Pull the Pin Ready War Room Edition. Back again, your host, Jim.
And I'm your co-host, Nate, and we did get 2 episodes that are the same.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we need a teleprompter.
Nah. Could read it anyway.
End quote. Oh, yeah, I wasn't supposed to say that.
End quote, repeat again.
How do you screw that up, dude? Like, how do you do it? Isn't there a rehearsal? Like, is there a class that presidents take or something, like how to read a teleprompter?
You would think so, right?
Like, I get it, because I've been in the media industry, and I've actually did a what do you call them dang things? Where you don't get paid. What do you call that?
Internship,
yeah, the media, a place where they did the news. And I watched that stuff, and I get it. Like, if you're doing the news and the teleprompter screws up, you're kind of out there. You know what I mean? But I don't know about the end quote stuff. I mean, like, usually even I think they have that in a different color.
Well, I think, don't these people nowadays, they have the teleprompter, but don't they have paper in front of them too?
Well,
as a backup in case
the
prompter goes out.
Yeah, they used to do that anyway. But still, but for every story, it's not like you're gonna shuffle through like what's her name, Jean-Pierre Pion, whatever that's sorry.
I don't have anything in here. I don't have anything about that.
Yeah, these aren't even my notes.
Oh damn,
they're
wrong
a bunch
book.
Of recipes. Anybody up
wrong
for a tuna casserole?
That'd be funny though. If I was press secretary, that's what I'd do. Like, oh dang, I got the recipe book. So anybody want to?
Yeah, right. Oh, this says milk, bread, eggs. So, anyways, for those of you out there who haven't seen us before, we are some average veterans. We just grab some headlines out of the news, so we don't know, Navy SEAL techniques and all that special forces stuff, but we do know a whole lot about what's going on because we read headlines just like you, and we make up the stories just like you. So that's what we're gonna do.
To clarify, we read headlines like you, not articles, because we don't read the articles.
So did I say articles? Oh yeah, we definitely
no. You said headlines. I just
want
to
clarify.
Okay. Make sure we don't read articles.
Oh, awesome! So Border Patrol, Mexicans virtually absent at top border crossings. Most people coming from 115 different countries.
So I'm not very good with where countries and stuff are. There are 115 countries south of Mexico.
You mean south of the U.S., right?
Well, no, but they said Mexicans virtually absent, so they're not counting Mexico, right?
Right. But so the asylum laws, right? You know that they are, right?
No.
When you're claiming asylum, you have to go to the first close, safest country, which means you don't get to go through Mexico because Mexico's not at war. You got to go to Mexico. That's where you're supposed to stop.
Well, no.
So only Canada and Mexico can come to the U.S. if their countries are, making them asylum seekers, whatever you'd call them.
But they gotta come legally, though, right?
No.
You can just cross and you got asylum.
No. Well, let me clarify this.
I'm being facetious.
But even so, for people who don't understand, we're talking about at the border crossings. Right. Even this headline is at the border crossings. We're not talking about the people sneaking around the walls or in tunnels and all that stuff. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about people actually showing up at the border like you're supposed to. Even as an asylum seeker, you're supposed to go to the border and turn yourself in there and say, I'm seeking asylum. So in this case, you must be seeking asylum from Mexico because asylum laws are, you're supposed to go to the closest country. And why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you want to eventually go back to your house when it gets straightened out? You know what I mean? So these people are obviously coming for something else.
Yeah, the greatest country in the world. I'd come here too.
Sure. Well, it's not becoming the greatest. I mean, we're tearing it apart right now.
Trying our best.
Yeah. So I don't know why these people are still coming.
It's still better than their place, I guess.
Yeah, well, maybe you know what maybe is? It's like that last hour of the garage sale. They're trying to get in here and get all the stimulus money they can before we close shop. Sorry, guys, nothing left. Oh, that's all right. I got mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So these people are coming from overseas somewhere too. I mean, there's not 115 different countries south of Mexico, so they're
Well,
coming from all over the world, and they're
right.
coming
So
up through Mexico because they know
let
how
me
open the
ask you
border
this.
is.
Let me ask you this. How many of them are Russian? You know what I mean? How many of them are white countries? You know what I mean? So it's not a racist thing anymore. Let's put the damn wall up. I don't care what country they're from. Put the wall up. These people should not be coming through. Well, this
I
isn't going
don't.
to affect the wall if they're
Yeah,
coming through the
no.
gate.
Well, I don't even think a wall worked. Those 87,000 new IRS agents should have been 87,000 new Border Patrol agents. What they should have been.
Right, right.
I mean, a wall
Yep.
could deter you, but if you have actual physical personnel on the line, that's gonna be a little bigger than a wall. You know, you can get over or under. But a wall might work at certain places on the border. I'm not saying all of them, but that wall also has to have security on it too, cameras, and make it electric. I don't know.
Boogie, woogie, woogie. Well, no, but the point is that's what a wall is. A wall is a deterrent. It's not a fail-safe. Even Joe Biden's $50,000 or $500,000 wall at his beach house isn't going to stop everything, but it's supposed to slow people down or deter people so that they can respond when they need to. That's what a wall is. That's all the wall in your house is, dude.
That was against his HOR restrictions too, but he's got allowed to have it, I guess.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Even like your walls in your house, like, have you ever had to drill a hole out your wall to get a cable? Well, if somebody shows up with a big drill, they can just drill a hole in your wall. It's a temporary thing. You know, so in reality, you think you're safer than you are, but you're really not.
My wall's not really to protect me from a drill. It's to protect me from outside elements, basically, I think.
Right.
which it does just fine.
But it will slow down people. It won't stop people, but it'll slow them down.
I got something that'll stop people. The next
What's
article.
that?
The next article.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know how this will stop. This will kill people. 15,000 union nurses in Minnesota walk out on strike protesting low wages and understaffing.
Don't blame them.
Well, come on, dude. What is the understaffing for? Because you made everybody get a COVID shot and people got fired?
Yeah, or didn't. Yep, exactly.
So that's enough to complain. Like, you know, I get it. It's enough to complain. But here's my problem is what's the second word in this whole thing? Union, right? People pay union dues. So what's the union doing to take care of them?
In this case, nothing, because it was mandated to get a vaccine.
And, you know, all right, let's be real, too. It's Minnesota. Like, for God's sake, let's just sell Minnesota to Canada already. Let's just make it a Canadian province.
Is all of Minnesota that bad, or just Minneapolis?
Well, what do you hear from the place? So obviously it's not all like that.
Every state has good people in it. It's just certain locations in every state have dipshits.
Sure. And I mean, at the end of the day, yes, anytime we refer to anything, we generalize, right? It should be inherently accepted across the board that we're generalizing most things. Very seldom when you talk about anything, it's everybody there because it's just not possible. There's exceptions everywhere, you know. So, but just generalize, like, what do you hear about Minnesota? Period. You know what I mean?
Isn't that where that Yahoo's from? One of those congresswomen's.
Oh, Ilhan Omar or something.
Yeah, that one. Isn't she from there?
Yeah, isn't Minnesota or is it Michigan? Which is the state? It might be Michigan, where they got the
Michigan. Yeah, you're right.
The no gun state, or the no cop. What do they call it? The no go sections. They're all Muslim, and cops don't even go in there because they're. You know what I'm talking about? There's a whole town like that.
Yeah,
I think don't even go in.
I think it is Michigan. Hell, maybe who knows? It might be Michigan and Minnesota nowadays.
Well, that's what I said. Just cut them in half, or we'll just do that. We'll cut them in half. Give the top part to Canada, and then keep the bottom part for the U.S. I don't know. Either way, 15,000 union nurses walking out, strike. Good for them to strike and protest. But if the hospital isn't making money, what are you going to do? What is the hospital going to do? Do we have taxpayers to pay for you now? You know what you can do? Move to California, go flip burgers. You'll make $22 an hour.
Damn.
Problem solved.
No, but then your house costs 3 times as much.
Yeah, or your rent, right? Your rent costs more than your money you've made, right?
Well, speaking of money and deals.
Yeah, this is coming back, and I saw this, and I was just like, I thought this was already dead. You know what I mean? But Twitter shareholders vote to approve Elon Musk takeover as he tries to back out of the deal. This was in the recent headline. I think it was today or yesterday. I don't know, but it was recent, so recent. I thought this already happened.
I thought they already voted for him, but he's like, no, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the information you gave me.
Yes, I thought we were already at the court phase of this.
Yeah, I don't follow Twitter or Elon Musk or buying stuff that big, so I have no idea. I really don't care. But
I don't either. But you know what this means to me? This is just another false hope. We have so many on the good side or the side, what I say, against all this tyranny and garbage. We have so many fizzled firecrackers. This is another one, where they have all the fake hoaxes and gets everybody all excited and they're really not real. We have these fizzling firecrackers. We have these things where you think you're going to make, some progress against the tyrannical government we got now, the hypocrites that were saying, Trump is going to do this, this, and this, and then they turn around and do it. You think we're making progress, but it just fizzles. And Elon Musk gave me hope, even though Twitter, I don't like Twitter. I could care less. I wish he just bought it and just shut it down. But he gave me hope that he was fighting back, and maybe he still is. But these are just fizzling firecrackers to me.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going to happen with this. Who cares? If he buys it, what's going to happen? If he doesn't buy it, what's going to happen?
I don't care either. Just keep making satellite internet so everybody can have internet and the government can track them.
Yeah. The government tracked these people, I think.
Yeah, couple pleads guilty to supporting ISIS in the U.S. Discussed attacking troops. So let's look at this through the same lens. I've been treating these. So this is the place right here. This is where we want, whether it the CIA is outside, the FBI, all the three-letter agency. This is where we want them to be doing the work, right? So they must have been, because these are U.S. this is U.S. citizens, right?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. It doesn't say U.S. It says couple pleads guilty to supporting ISIS in the U.S.
Well, they're in the U.S. Whether they're citizens or not, they're literally living in the U.S.
Legally?
So I don't know. Maybe they came across the border. Maybe that's one of the 115 countries.
Maybe they are ISIS already.
Right. And they very well could be, because we let them all come across the border. But you get what I'm saying is this is what we pay these companies for. Even though if you're still spying on Americans, I'm not really a fan of that. I think that's the duty of the communities. I think communities can say, hey, there's some funny stuff going on over here. There's some this, that. But if you're not going to do anything about it, then I guess that wouldn't even help either. But
yeah, I mean, they pleaded guilty. So what's going to happen to them? So they domestic terrorists now, or are they going to get released on unsecured bond? Because that's what we do nowadays with all these.
I think the worst that'll happen to them is they'll deport them to Mexico and let them walk back across.
What if they're U.S. citizens?
Then they'll deport them to the other Mexico in California.
Yeah, I mean, how much time they're really going to serve? I mean, they discussed attacking troops, like going to an army base or I shouldn't say army, military base and attacking them at base. I mean,
well, whatever the plan was, they caught it way before it happened, right?
Yeah, so someone was actually doing their job for the right reason this time.
Right. But that's why I said this is what we pay them for. This is what we want them to do, even though it's still a gray area if they're Americans. Like this is what it's all about. It's not about what did he call them? The extreme MAGA extremists or something. It's like that's not what it's about. And like I said again, I'm going to get worked up on this one too. I don't know how you can take 70 million people and make them the enemy and then ignore an entire group or call it's just a theory, Antifa, who literally shows up in uniforms and does things, and yet they're not investigated. But yet you got 70 million people who you don't even know who they are unless they got a MAGA flag or something in front of their house. Like you don't even know who they are. You don't know who these people are, but yet somehow they're the enemy.
I just checked over registration cards.
Yeah, right. Well, not all of them are voting for or registered. Matter of fact, I'm going to recommend this too now. Every one of you people should go out there and register as a Democrat and then vote Republican. Go into the Democratic primaries and do exactly what these fools do. Go into the primaries and vote for the worst candidate, and then go to the regular one and vote for Republicans. Why not, right?
Would that be election fraud?
I don't think so. Why? What are you're not, just because you register something, I think the only rule is you're only allowed to vote in that primary. That's the only thing that holds you to. It doesn't mean you have to vote for that candidate, because then we wouldn't need an election. You just make everybody register for what party they want. So yeah, it wouldn't be illegal.
Today, well, I don't know if it was today. Recently was election day in Delaware, but I'm an independent, so I can't vote.
Right. For the primaries, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about that too, but like I said, I don't like Republicans any more than I like Democrats. I know Mike likes to, act like I'm some Republican. I just lean Republican because I like their policies way better than I like this, this grab bag of gimme stuff that's destroying our country. But I'm independent because I don't want to associate with either one. So
Purple's the way to go.
Right. And I saw, I don't know, you follow the Babylon Bee?
No.
Babylon Bee is hilarious, dude. These are funny writers. I saw something they put out that said something about what do they call them? Whatever we're calling us, the extreme MAGA, whatever, terrorists starting to put Biden signs on their lawn so the FBI passes them by.
You ever heard of the Duffel blog?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never.
It's a satire thing too, where but it's all about military stuff. It's pretty funny too. Those writers are pretty good too.
Oh yeah, I love these guys. That's why I always said to Mike too. The memes these days, like,
memes are out of control, dude. Something happens, people are on memes on Facebook within the minute.
Yeah,
it's crazy how quick memes are made.
Yeah, and I love it because these people are creative. There's a lot of creative people out there. You know what I mean? And that's probably what's going to save comedy, because they're trying to destroy comedy too, and all this wokeness. So anyway,
my friend.
Yeah, speaking of woke, we're going to put this one to sleep. Unless you got something to add.
No, I'm ready for sleep.
Because I'm sure we'll have another episode coming out soon. So thank you again, Nate, for showing up. I always appreciate your loyalty, and all you guys out there watching who are loyal to the show. Even if you're not participating in the conversation, we know you're there. Big Tech is watching you, so they tell us when you're watching us. So we know you're out there. So get involved. Reach out. If this is not your thing, we'll find something for you to do.
Hey, is this guy still involved?
Yeah, of course. Johnny's our biggest fan.
I just wondered if he still watched. I was wondering if he still watched or not.
Yeah, Johnny's our biggest fan. He don't comment. He don't get his comments out there, but he's definitely our biggest fan.
Shout out to you again, Johnny. We haven't shouted out to you in a while, so shout out to Johnny.
There you go. Awesome. Way to go, Nick. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thank you all. Just get involved and come check us out and share it and do all other cool stuff everybody says at the end of their videos, which I'm not going to repeat. So yeah, until then, Godspeed.
Smash that like button. And pull the pin already. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinion. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.